Okay, welcome to another edition of Dave's Workshop Interview Sessions. Today I have with me Drake. Before we start any questions, Drake, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
Well, as you know, my name's Drake Sylvestre. I moved here from Winnipeg, Manitoba 6 years ago in 2014. And I guess in 2015, I enrolled in the trades and apprenticeship program for the grade 12 students. I was enrolled, I guess, in March of 2015, and the class ended August 2015. And I was able to obtain my level 1 certificate for carpentry. And it's what, 2020 now? When did I get it? Last year? 2019, I got my red seal.
Right
so
on.
It's been a good journey. I've got so much going on. I got married last year and just had a kid 3 weeks ago. And
Oh, congratulations. Right on.
all in amongst this pandemic that's going around the world. You know, I'm just living my life, just trying to keep it as normal as I can, and not forgetting what I've trained for.
Hey, that's all we can do, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Nice to hear that you got into. I believe it was it was a residential construction program, which is the youth training trades now. Anyway, so you end up getting into some carpentry. So that'll lead me to the first question. You know, did you always want to be a carpenter? And was it your first choice? And sort of what influenced your choice or your change at the time you decided to go into it?
Well, my dad's family has always been in the trades: carpenters, plumbers, electricians. My dad was huge on just residential. He was nothing serious, but he was always a kind of DIY handyman at home, way before YouTube. And he kind of pushed me in the direction of becoming a carpenter because he wanted us to start our own thing one day. And so I just, some kids feel pressured and pushed by their parents. I didn't. I wanted to be a carpenter. I looked at it and went, you know what? That's handy because everyone needs a place to live. So why not do something where I can build someone a house or renovate a suite or whatever it is. So it was a good decision on my part, and I'm glad I did it.
Nice. So you mentioned you just wrote your ticket recently.
Yes.
So now you're a red seal carpenter.
That's right. It's all my hours.
Which is the Interprovincial Standard of Excellence. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, welcome to the Red Seal Elite Club of Professionals, right? Hey? How cool is that? You know, the Red Seal now, we have an endorsement after our name, and it's RSE, that's Red Seal Endorsement. So make sure you add that whenever you sign something, put that after your name. It's just like a PhD or a CA or for accountant or whatnot. So cool stuff. Right on. Okay, so back 3 years, you're in high school. You mentioned you took the Youth Training and Trades program, which was a residential construction program at the time. So how was that experience? And did it really affect your decision on going forward in the trade, or?
So I'm going to backtrack 2 more years prior to that. I started homeschooling in grade 10 in Manitoba. Just found I had a better education system because I chose my curriculum. Then I moved to BC, and that all changed because you don't really choose your curriculum. You kind of just go based off of the school system, but do it on your own pace at your own house and go in for tests. So I started working full time at 16 years old in a trade. It was just a helper as an HVAC and plumbing helper.
Right.
So I was kind of introduced into the trades before the program, which helped a lot because I kind of knew what everyone's role was in the whole situation. And so going into the trades and the program, I was able to develop my skills with all the tools and increase my knowledge as to how to build a house and how to communicate with others on the job site, and just kind of help each other out to boost each other and get along, because that's what you want to do on a job site is get along. Otherwise, my life will get miserable.
Some of those life skills, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I mean, that's when you and I first met. What was during the residential construction program, and it was quite an incredible program. It was a partnership with Okanagan College and School District 67, I believe. And so you mentioned you went from March till end of August. I think it was a 30-week program. And a big part of that was, you mentioned, yeah, you got your year one from that, but not only that, but you did get high school credits towards your graduation also, which is pretty
true,
cool.
yeah.
You know, it was just so the viewers know that actually I was your instructor
Yeah.
for the program, and it was really an incredible experience. And we were very fortunate to be able to go into a busy subdivision. And you know, there was 12 of us, and we built a high-end house from you know, from surveying right up to the lockup and putting the roof on. So yeah, it was you know, being on the site and you know, all the hustle bustle and that. So you know, I remember how intimidating you know, everybody was on the first day, first couple of weeks and that, because it's so busy and there's so much going on. And I just sort of stood back and smiled and kind of chuckled at you guys. This is awesome, but you know, it was a real life situation. So yeah, it was actually you know, we did a few houses up there, you know, in a few years, and you know, like I said, the experience there, having that full scale hands-on experience was beneficial for everybody, and it made my job a lot easier, just building something that was real instead of just some mock building or a doghouse or something like that. You got the real experience. So whatever, we did this course. I mean, the job site, the general there, what was Grayback Construction. So when we were finished the program, you know, my next question was, you know, tell us about, you know, your journey finding employment. I understood that you actually went to work for Grayback after the program was over, or?
I actually went right to All Elements. That was that other company that contacted you, I believe, looking for an apprentice. So I went ahead with them for 9 months.
Okay.
And then after my time with them, I then contacted Bobby Shower from Grayback Construction, and then jumped on with them for about 5 years, 4 years.
Oh, nice.
4 years now. Yeah, it was a good amount of time. Finished my my schooling through them, and obtained my red seal. And then shortly after, I think February 2020, this year, I just switched over to Excursion Homes. And so it's just a small company, guy who with 2 other workers, and we build houses, renovations, all that kind of small stuff I like, you know.
So the whole scope of the general carpentry, which is kind of nice. So you never get bored. You're never doing the same thing. And
exactly.
So when the new construction dies down, there's always the renovations to go to, and you know, that's one of the keys. And you know, it's something that I did myself. Was I specialized in different parts of the trade, and I was never ever out of work throughout my whole career, because you know, I didn't just specialize in say framing, and I, you know, waited for you know, the next house is the finishing to be done to start the next framing. Yeah, awesome, good way to you know, get out there and expose yourself to different things. And so, you know, that being said, you know, you got that extra training. So I mean, there was a demand for your skill set then. I mean, having that experience and your year one really helped open the doors for getting employment. Is that correct in me saying that, or?
Yes, it is, definitely.
So you had that. You had that little bit of an edge, where if a student coming out of high school doesn't have that training, you have some of that experience and the skills that actually employers are looking for, and it makes you more employable.
Less green, you know.
Less green, right? No, it's awesome. No, I remember you on site. You're always one of the harder workers, and one of the key things I remember about you was that you asked a lot of questions, and that's the key to success. And that's awesome.
Still do.
Well, that's good, right? I mean, that's the only way you're gonna, you know, get to learn something if you're not sure. And it's also helpful for, you know, someone that you're working for, that you know, they get you to do a task, and if you don't ask questions, if you're not sure about something, then you know, something's gonna get messed up, and everybody learns from that. So good for you.
Yep.
It's good on you. So looking back and current, you know, who was was or is the biggest influence, and what inspires you now?
You know, I want to say it was my parents. I think I'm going to go with that. I just always had a fascination with building, and I loved watching people build houses from childhood. I'd look up and go, wow, how do you build such a magnificent building from scratch? And, you know, it's all process. You start down and you work your way up, and somehow just one step after another, you've got this high-end house, and you're like, what's going on? And my dad's just been, he's been a big influence on that. And he's always been, what's the word here? Influential, but come on, what's the word? He's always pushed me in the direction that I needed to go. And he's always been uplifting and just good about the whole thing.
Nice. You know, that's important that you mentioned that, you know, you're always interested in how things were built and made, and you know, you look at a structure and it seems overwhelming, but if you learn it step by step, you know, you can put that puzzle together and it all makes sense. And you know, and that's a real a positive thing that you did at a young age is you tried a bunch of different things. I mean, obviously you had some influence from your dad as a tradesperson,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, just trying the shops and getting into the trades. You know, when, like you said, when you learn how you're interested in how things are built, and unfortunately, people that don't get into trades or maybe don't take a shop class, you know, they're not really aware of their surroundings. You know, they'll walk by a building every day, not be curious about, you know, how that was all put together, or you know, you sort of walk through life blindfolded, and you really open your eyes, and it's going to open up, you know, a lot of opportunities for you just by being eye wide open type thing. I have to just back up a bit because I wanted to just ask you one more question about the, you know, you started young, you're working hard, you know, you've switched companies a couple of times. Is there potential for advancement, you know, in the jobs that you had, you know, to build a more advanced career for yourself?
Yes, there is. When I started, you know, you're just an apprentice. They kind of get you to rake the rocks and go tie the rebar, put the panels up. Oh, you did it wrong. It's upside down or whatever. You start that low. They tell you go get the sky hook and the beam stretcher, whatever. So you're trying to go and look for that, and you have no clue what's going on. But now I'm the lead hand for this small company, because it's him, myself. We've got an apprentice who's on the job site, so I'm trying to teach him the best I can from my experiences, and then we've got another worker with us who's not ticketed, but he's an older gentleman. He knows what he's doing. So he would leave, the boss would leave, and he'd tell me what to do. You know what you're doing here? I look at the plans and go, yeah, it's easy enough. So he'll be like, all right, I'll be back in 3 hours. Get it done. So, so if you back up to March, I just started working for him for about a month, and COVID hit, and his wife is a teacher, but she had to go back to work, and his kids couldn't go to school. So he stayed home for 3 weeks. And we had this just huge demolition and addition that was being done to this house. Roof was being exposed. We were putting in a new gable roof for the patio. Lots involved. And so it was the apprentice, this other worker, and myself. And he put it on me to get the job done. Now, there was a lot of questions. I like asking questions, and there was a lot of them. But we got it done, and the client's very happy. So he's very confident with my abilities, and he doesn't put me down. He knows what I can do. And so he's been just uplifting, and he's been pushing me. And I kind of take charge most of the time now while he relaxes and makes the money.
You know, a couple of things. It's nice to hear. And, you know, anybody I've talked to in the industry, really the pandemic has not really slowed down construction at all. Most of the guys I know are still working as many hours as they want. So, you know, it's you know, where a lot of other professions and whatnot had to shut down, and you know, that's loss of wages, and a lot of hardships are caused by that. So that's, you know, that's another plug for the trades, you know, that you know, you can keep your social distancing, because usually you work by yourself. You might have a partner, and you keep your, you know, your small groups and whatnot. So good for you. The point you made about you know, you start off as, you know, on the shovel and whatnot, paying your dues, but you know, every job like that is very important. And a lot of those, the jobs when you're starting off, I mean, you might have had a bit more, you know, skills than someone else starting off without having, you know, that base you had. But a lot of it is just, you know, just to seeing it if you're going to put an honest day's work in, if you're going to work hard, you know, that's, you know, showing that, first of all, showing up every day on time and just put an honest day's work in. You know, if you do that, you're going to get a raise and a promotion well before you even ask for it. You know, if you just have those few attributes that you know are the key to success and to, you know, sort of climb within the ranks and that. And good for you. I kind of knew that you would climb fairly quickly, and it's not over for you yet. And like I said, keep asking those questions, and you know, there's always upgrading to do on the side, the weekends and stuff that will help you, you know, so that when an opportunity comes, you know, you can jump for it because you're ready for it, right? And it's all about you. They're not going to break the door down, you know, to give you that opportunity, but when the opportunity is there, you want to be ready for it, and you seem to be doing that from day one. So looks good on you. Anyways, I just I have one more question for you, and then we'll wrap this up. But you know, do you have any advice for young people trying to figure out a career path, or you know, that may be considering going into the trades?
Oh, well, the advice I give you is not follow your heart. Okay, don't follow your heart. You want to follow your dreams in a way. Think with your mind, because that's what you're supposed to do with it, but go with what your interests are. If you're more interested in becoming an engineer or an electrician or a plumber, whatever it is you want to do, you want to make sure that you're fully involved. You don't want to just put half effort into what you're doing, because it just wastes your time, wastes your employer's time, and you're not making much progress. Now, if I chose to be an electrician, I hate math. I mean, I know there's math in carpentry, but as an electrician, I'm sure there's a little more involved, and I just wouldn't be able to do it. Or engineering. So as a carpenter, I found, you know what, I can build the houses for the electricians, and I'm happy with that.
Good point.
And, you know, you find a trade, and that's your career. It's not just a job, right? So you're going to be doing it, and it's a life skill. I'm going to have this skill up until I die, unless I have amnesia, but you know, that's fine. But it's a life skill. I use it every day. After work, I don't just sit home and do nothing. I'm renovating the house, or, you know, I'm going to a side job that I have. In fact, my boss gives me jobs to do for him, because he's a family man. He doesn't want to do anything after work. So he gives me jobs. He just references me, and I go do my own thing. So it's fun for me. It's my life, and I enjoy it. So that's what I'm going to kind of advise for everybody out there. Just do what you feel is right in the trades.
You know, that's the key, is finding something that you enjoy, because you're going to have to work, you know, most of your life. And, you know, if you're miserable at your job, you're going to be miserable to yourself and to everybody around you. Yeah, you know, the path you're taking, there's a lot of opportunities to grow. It's something you enjoy. And like you said, you're learning skills that you can use in everyday life too, which is so important. I mean, you know, to get into the trades, to be a carpenter, a mechanic, you know, carpenter, you build your own house, a mechanic, you fix your own vehicle, instead of pay to someone to do that. A lot of times it's just, you know, some basic stuff, some basic skills that you have to learn to be able to do those tasks. So that's great advice. Anyways, you know, is there anything else you'd like to add, or to put you on the spot? You know, we really appreciate you taking time out. I know, you know, a young father, you're working night and day, and you have a young child, and you have to make your wife happy, and you have a lot on your plate. So we appreciate the time and wisdom that you're sharing with us. And
you're very welcome.
Good luck in the future, man.
Thank you very much.